First of all, we have roll call.
Good morning. Jennifer Baratka. Michelle Dravnik.
Here.
Doug Erickson.
Here.
Robert Kopish.
Here.
Jeff Ulrich.
Here.
Larry Mivas and Rachel Hoffman are excused.
Okay, the next item is public comment and communications. And we're just having a zoning meeting today, obviously. We're not having extension or land use. Before we start, public comment's different than a public hearing. And we have some board policies on public comment, and basically it's a 15-minute total, 10-minute on any one topic. And we're going to use that here today. So we're going to have 10 minutes for people to talk. Now, you realize we have all of what was said the other day recorded. So all of that is of public record. So we really don't need to go through any of that. So I would appreciate it that whoever talks, you're bringing up something different or, nothing. We don't want to rehash everything we did here a couple of weeks ago. I have 6 people here that want to talk. You're not all going to be able to talk because you'll have a max of 3 minutes, total of 10. That's what the 10 minutes is up there for. We're going to keep track of that. So it looks like we've got 5 people that maybe want to be are opposed and one outfit that maybe is for it that has the name of Janik on it. I'm just guessing. So what I'll do is I'll let that person talk first, do your 3 minutes, and then we'll go to whomever wants to talk. So you may want to decide who's going to talk and what you have to say. Any questions? Okay, so we'll start this off with Brent Janik.
And make sure you identify yourself and make sure the mic's on.
Name and address.
Name and address.
Should be green.
Thank you, Nick. I'll try to do that today.
On Worcester and 7431. Green light.
There, it's greener there. Brent Janik, and Town of Worcester, shop is N7431, State Highway 13. I just want to thank everyone for coming here today and so we can iron out these details. Last time we met, our original plan was, I heard all the concerns last time. So we kind of sat down and put some different ideas together to address everyone's concerns. Our original plan was to put our pit into the field because there's clay there and we could build berms for noise and contain it more. So we kind of switched it up and we were going to do in the field and go into the woods, but we switched it up and decided to go into the woods. So from the road, all you're going to see is a field, which is kind of what it is now, and a driveway going in there. It's going to have a curve to it, so you can't see directly into the pit, and the pit's going to be in the woods. And for how many years? It's going to take years to get to the field, with the amount of gravel that's there. So that's kind of our basics now, I guess. Put it in the back so no one can see it. The trees are there. We're going to plant trees along the road now. So by the time the pit does get to the road, those trees will be big. We met with zoning and we put some buffers and stuff in place and stuff. So I think it'll be good the way we have it figured out. So any questions, let us know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Doug? Oh, okay, go ahead.
Brent, how far is that setback then where the pit will be starting from the road?
What we say, 1,100 feet, I think, from the road.
Okay.
No, we're going to be talking conditions.
I would save those questions for later,
Yeah,
so we're
I
not
would
chewing
save
up the
that.
public comment.
You should have a list of what Evan's proposing.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that when we get into the main discussion.
And we do have an updated photo and we can do aerials when we
Yeah.
get to the
Yeah.
actual item.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have Linda Schilling, Joseph Wingert, Mary Kurth, Daniel Jorgensen, and Ashley Matzik. Which of you wants to speak first? And you are? Go ahead, come on up and identify yourself and your address. Are you Linda?
I am.
Kind of guessed that.
Linda Schilling, N9462 Westview Road. I'm going to shorten this up a little bit. I have a history with the DNR through my employment. I reached out to William Roberts of the WDNR, Price County Water Specialist located in Rhinelander, and Jeffrey Steele, statewide emergency contaminants coordinator for drinking water and groundwater in Madison, for some information regarding possible ground and well water contamination caused by actions of a gravel pit excavation operation on the immediate proximity of East Selberg Lake Road and Westview Road. On June 5th, 2026, I received a phone call from Mr. Williams wanting verification of the exact area of the proposed gravel pit. He stated the only open parcel near my location home was designated as a landfill area. During that telephone call, he guided me to the well driller viewer of the WDNR website. He pointed out to me that the large red circles on the site of N9410 East Suburb Lake Road is designated as a landfill and would be of great concern. Basically, which meant you can't dig on a landfill or its 1,200-foot buffer area. Even a well would have to receive a variance from the WDNR. Also, that he had been not contacted by anyone except me about digging on that site. He also indicated that excavation actions from a gravel pit on a landfill would require specific permits, as the DNR has strict regulations. After this telephone conversation, I further investigated the 15-acre parcel out on the DNRRR list site and discovered that the area is listed as flagged for waste and water management remediation. The regulations of NR 508 specifically that a one-time demolition disposal landfill must adhere to strict guidelines for remediation. Extraction activities could pose contamination risks, which is a significant concern for regulatory bodies. This particular site is where the Grandview Hotel was demolished was demolished in 1988 with the permission of the DNR, and I would assume the property owner. Several surrounding property owners were aware of this disposal. Generally, when a property is sold via a realtor, the realtor would investigate the property history and disclose that to the buyer, information to the buyer such as this. I do not know the regulations of a disclosure on a private sale. I would think it would fall on the property owner to ensure that the regulations regarding the operation of a gravel pit that could affect health and safety of the residents in the immediate area of a designated landfill would be required to meet DNR requirements before any operation of excavation would begin. The area where the landfill is in the woods on that 15-acre property. You can verify it on the DNR website. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Okay, who? Got a lot in a short period of time. Joseph, Mary, Daniel, Ashley, who wants to come up now? Who's coming? Anybody? And you are which?
Daniel Jorgensen.
Okay, Daniel.
All right, thank you. Daniel Jorgensen, W6861 Southview Lane. With the updated proposal, I just had a couple of questions following up on that for the board. So is there going to be an updated application with that information in it for, again, further review? Still open questions on the road conditional use. The town of Worcester's meeting from May 27th that they provided an offline estimate of the impact to the roadway and the impact on the town to an asphalt overlay. But just again, asking for feedback on the application portions on official impact statements or quotes for those notifications of the sections that were deemed no adverse effects. Just want that objective evidence and data so the county board can make an informed decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. I'm taking notes here. We'll bring this up in our discussion.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Okay, Joseph, Mary, Ashley? Which one of you would like to talk? We've got 5 minutes and 34 seconds left. Anybody? I'm going to guess you're Joseph.
Yep.
Okay.
Joseph Wingert, N10149 East Solberg Lake Road, Comfort Cove Resort and Campground. I'd like to thank you for your time to speak today. I would like to inform you that we have been, in the last 4 days, have been taking surveys from our guests at Comfort Cove to compile a gross financial impact study on our business and assess how negatively impacted we would be by a gravel pit and or asphalt plant. In that last 4 days, we've been conducting these surveys. I've got 9 cabin guests, 4 more waiting for me when I get home, and we've got 16 seasonal guests with 2 more waiting for me. So far, the results are dismal and are not conducive of a gravel pit or asphalt plant going in 1.4 miles away from my business. We've even had 3 guests wait to rebook on waiting for your guys' decision in this small amount of time. I ask you today to delay the vote on these permits to allow more time to collect more accurate data and how to get that data to you so that you can verify it. I implore you to verify these surveys, before the next meeting.
Okay, thank you. We got Mary and Ashley left. Mary? Ashley? You're Mary, right?
Bef-
Okay,
Mr. Kopish, before the next, but there are also individuals online that
Okay.
didn't have the opportunity to sign up. I don't know if they want to speak, but
we'll get to
Just-
that after we're done.
okay, just so you're aware.
Because I think we'll probably have a couple of minutes left. Okay, Mary, go ahead. Identify yourself and your address.
Mary Kurth, N 9465, East Solberg Lake Road.
Okay, thank you.
I'm right across from the pit. I would like to know who is gonna regulate all these changes and how come it wasn't mentioned in the Janix plan about the dump site? I mean, these questions got to be considered. And I also want to know where the water table is. Because I mean, that's an important issue that if someone's running a pit, they better know where the water table is. And I would like to know, besides all the regulation, why you don't have Janix do an environmental impact statement on how that's going to affect the area. Because I think that's very important that knowing now that we have a dump site there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Okay, Ashley? You're gonna pass? You're gonna pass?
Yes.
Okay, then we'll go to those online. Is there anybody online that wishes to speak? Star 6, is that right? Anybody wishes to speak online, star 6, and identify yourself. Nothing? Okay, we will close the public hearing. Thank you for your public comment, yeah. What? You want to speak?
Yes.
Okay. We still have go ahead, go ahead. 2-3 minutes. Meredith, we'll do 3, okay? And your name, ma'am?
Tammy Melbauer, N9533 East Solberg Lake Road. I have brought these concerns to the town of Worcester, the chairman, and he told me it was outside of his purview jurisdiction and wished me well. Some of the concerns that I have is as we put more truck traffic on that road in the event that these permits are approved, I'd like to raise some concerns and some considerations that the zoning committee could think of if they do approve this. One is lowering the speed limit. It's currently 40 miles per hour, which if you think about a loaded commercial vehicle at 40 miles per hour and the fact that they're coming off a hill road as well from the secondary site that's on Hill Road, that is a concerning speed. Also, we do not have a center line on that road. I think that would be something that would need to be applied as well. And then also a consideration of hours of operation. Because we have congestion on that road with a lot of pedestrian traffic, I think there would be some concerns or things we would want to think about as far as hours of operation. So my understanding in the last meeting was to bring forward concerns or mitigation that we want. So those were my concerns. As I previously stated, I am in the transportation industry, and when you have a commercial vehicle and a personal vehicle or pedestrian accident, the commercial vehicle always wins. I would really like to see us, in the event that this does move forward, that we take some preventative action for the traffic that will be there. I also asked the chairman of Worcester to also take preventative action for the traffic that we are already seeing coming off of Hills Road, as well, as it is considerable. And I do work from home and see this traffic on a daily basis, along with the pedestrian and other traffic there as well. Thank you for your consideration.
Tammy, would you spell your last name for me?
Elbauer.
Okay. Okay, is that it? Once again, anybody online? Anybody else here? We have a couple minutes left or a minute left. Okay, there being none, we will close this public comment and we will move into our agenda. First of all, just so that you know, items 3 and 4 will be discussed today. And item 5, we will not, because the American Asphalt has withdrawn their application. So there will be nothing being done with an asphalt plant as far as our decision making. Now, what we're going to be doing, just for the committee and for the audience, we're going to be dealing with conditions. We've been working on these conditions since the last meeting. And we also have the issue of substantial evidence, which I think something has been brought up in that regard today. We don't have an answer to that question, so I don't think we're going to be taking any action today on either one of these. We're going to have to wait till we get that issue clarified. So at our meeting next Thursday, which is the 18th, we will have this on again for action, and then we will be taking action at that point in time. So just so you know where we're going here. So we'll open up the discussion and possible action. So for the committee standpoint, you've got a couple of documents in front of you. You've got the conditions that Evan has put forth, and we need to discuss those and take action on them. And then per our request, we had several emails giving us input from the audience, which we asked for, and thank you for doing that. Evan took all of this into consideration. Some were reasonable enough to put in, and some were maybe a little bit too far out, but you'll see when we talk here where we ended up. So Evan, you want to take it over and start going through the conditions?
Sure. Yeah, I can. All the committee members got copies, and I do have a few extra copies. I don't have enough for everybody in the room, but what's that?
I need.
Oh, you didn't get one? Did you get the list?
Yeah, I got the other.
Oh. Anyway, so these were conditions based on input that we received. I talked to the applicants as well as the public. Come up with a list of proposed conditions. Granted, these are just proposed. The committee can talk about them, amend them, change them, add some. First one, hours of operation, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. No hauling or crushing on Memorial Day, Independence Day, or Labor Day. Timeline for crushing. Crushing can only happen once per calendar year for a period no longer than 4 weeks. The approval of this conditional use permit is subject to all applicable DNR administrative rules being adhered to. 4, off-street parking for all on-site vehicles, including employees' personal transportation, must be provided. So basically that means they can't park anywhere along East Soberg Lake Road. It'd have to be all on-site. 5, any crushing cannot be located within 500 feet of any resident that exists prior to May 21st, 2026. Condition 5 is waived if the property owner or if the property owner of the property on which the residence is located provides a written notarized agreement to Price County Zoning Office stating that the property owner has waived the setback requirements. 6, an unexcavated vegetated buffer of 50 feet shall be established along all property lines. 7, an unexcavated vegetative buffer of 100 feet shall be established from the edge of the existing town road, with the exception of one access road, a maximum of 60 feet in width. 8, maximum depth of the pit floor shall be no lower than 1,480 feet, and that elevation is measured using the Price County 2019 LiDAR data. So what that basically means is that the pit can't be any deeper than that 30 to 35 foot mark. We established that the static water table is roughly between 40 and 50 feet below the ground level.
What was that number?
1480.
1480 is the groundwater?
No, the static water. So the static water table, based on the well data from that area, is between 40 and 50 feet. We pulled all the surrounding well data from when wells were drilled in that area. Most wells are between 60 and 70 feet in that area, but the static water table is between 40 and 50.
So that's
Based on
below,
that well
that's
data.
below this 1480 or what? How does that? relate?
14, that's roughly 10 feet below this
10,
1480.
roughly 10 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're at 14.
You can't, there's some hills and some knobs, and the
Okay.
groundwater data is based on exactly where that well was drilled. So, noise level from the pit shall not exceed 90 decibels as measured from the property line. 10, the entrance to the pit shall be located a minimum of 100 feet from any driveway that exists as of 5/21/2026. 11, the conditional use permit is for sand and gravel mining operation, including gravel aggregate material crushing. No cement plants, asphalt plants, or blasting will be permitted with this CUP. 12, solid waste shall not be placed in the gravel pit. 13, the site shall be cleaned of all debris and equipment after closure of the pit. 14, to prevent tracking of mud onto public roads, access driveways shall be paved, crushed recycled asphalt, or stone within 100 feet of the public roads. 15, access to the site shall only be through designated entrances on the site operations plan. Such access points shall be secured when not in operation. So that's the 15 conditions that
Okay, committee,
proposed conditions.
but we need to discuss.
That,
You have concerns over any of this stuff? You want to talk about anything in particular?
and I think the center line issue that was brought up, that is a legitimate concern, but it's a town concern, and I can communicate that with Mr. Mickler in the town of Worcester that that's a request, but we can't go center line of road, of course. And the reduced speed limit, again, that's a town road and it'd be a town issue. And I can communicate that with the town as well, that there's concerns.
Yeah, we've talked about that and it's purely a town issue. We have no,
Yeah, we can tell them, we can advise that the citizens request this be done, but they would have to contract for somebody to center line that road or figure out a way to do that. We can't require the town to do that on a town road, of course, but.
have we had anything from the town regarding this?
Well, the last page I can read the town's email. They discussed it at the meeting. It's in the packet on the last page that I had given you. I'll read the whole email. It's short. It says, Evan, the Worcester Town Board discussed a proposed conditional use permit for a gravel pit on East Solberg Lake Road at a special town board meeting today. The proposed pit is 0.5 miles north of County Highway H. The board has two concerns. One, East Solberg Lake Road from County H to Hills Road is excellent condition. The proposed, or that portion of road has a 2.5-inch layer of blacktop and was built in 2008. Increased heavy truck traffic would damage this road. So we would want to add an 1.5 inch overlay. The overlay would cost about $100,000 for that portion of road. 2, the proposed pit location is across the road from a residential area. This is concerning for the reasons presented by local residents at the county zoning committee meeting on 5/21/2026. Signed, Jim Mickler.
So based on that, are you taking it that the town will be doing that extra 1.5 inches?
That's not the way I read it. They
Okay.
just said it's in good condition and they would want to add that 1.5 inch overlay. I don't know.
You don't know what they're going to do though. But again, this is a town issue.
And I think that was more addressing the proposed 100 to 120 trucks a day from the asphalt plant with the increased traffic. I think that was what their concern there was, which is a moot point at this point.
So without the asphalt plant, the demand is going to be less and
The truck traffic is
they
gonna
may
be
not do this.
significantly low.
And there is other truck traffic on that road, right?
There's 3 pits on Hills Road.
Yeah.
2 of them are pretty active. One of them is dwindling a little bit, but yeah, the any truck that leaves Hills Road and goes to the east drives down this road.
Okay.
But yeah, there's.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you.
Can I ask a question, please?
Excuse me?
I have a question.
Well, we're not at that point of the meeting anymore. We don't want to get into that because if I do it here, then I got to do it everybody. So, okay, so just listen and we'll go from there.
Yeah,
What's
whatever
that?
you want.
With the information we also received, we did receive an updated map that so what's up there is our GIS map, which there was some questions about distance. With our GIS, you can measure. So this is what 1,000 feet looks like. So when you say 500, halfway. Also talking about potential location, this is the believed location and I made it much, much larger than what is actually. It's somewhere in this area is where they believe, or where the sinkhole kind of showed up from, where there was the buried material.
So that's on that property, that's where that,
It's somewhere in this approximate area. Again, I spoke with individuals yesterday. We just know it's a small.
where did you get that from?
There's 2 spots. You're on the wrong spot.
It's on the DNR.
Please.
My
We'll
understanding.
get there. We want to
Yeah.
find out the same thing you guys are asking.
So we'll have more on that.
So
but
where did you get that from?
this is when I was speaking to Evan. This is what we.
Oh, okay.
were
But
aware
we
of.
don't have an answer yet back, Evan, do we?
Right. No, there, if you
Okay.
look at the,
And I
if
might
you
be
look
too
at
far
the
back.
second page of what was sent, there's a map with 2 circles with
Yep.
dots. So what I've got a call into the solid waste department. I didn't find out about this till Friday, same time a lot of these other folks found out about it. I called William Roberts with the DNR, is the only one that answered. He's the well data guy, and I asked him about the solid waste concern, and there is the 1,200-foot variance that was discussed is if you propose to drill a private well, you need a variance if you drill within that 1,200-foot buffer around the disposal site. He did give me a number of Nathan Collar with the DNR solid waste program. I've left him 2 messages. I left him one yesterday afternoon and one this morning. I have not heard back from him.
Okay,
And hopefully he'll be able to answer the solid waste and disposal questions before the next meeting. I'll have answers on what the requirements may be. William Roberts said he doesn't deal with the requirements for digging or anything within a waste disposal site.
okay. And that's a significant issue that needs to be resolved, and we'll have that for the next meeting.
I sure hope I hear an answer
Yeah.
before the next meeting.
Okay, we may, whatever help we need to get, we should see what we can do. Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the conditions.
And then there was one other.
Oh,
This is
okay,
the
Nick.
updated map that was requested or that was given. So.
And what is that showing us, Nick?
So this is from East Solberg Road on the bottom here.
Yeah.
You come up in the pink area is it's considered part of the pit. Again, Evan knows
So-
more about.
So they're proposing to remove 50% of the topsoil within that pink area, the area that's currently plowed.
Yep.
50% of that topsoil would be removed and put in a pile, most likely in the northwest corner of that field, my understanding. And then the pit areas, the gravel pit area would be the area that's
Okay.
highlighted yellow back
Okay.
in the northwest corner of the property. Is
Oh, okay,
no
so the impact of what we're talking about with that hotel would be up in that other corner on the
My
one
understanding
map,
is-
and there's
yeah.
another site.
I can't confirm
But
that.
we have to get this now, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have no idea. The 2 dots are somewhere in there, and I did talk to, there was 2 companies that applied for it. If you look at it, I think they've got 2 circles and there's 2 disposal sites, and I don't know why they're not exactly in one spot.
Okay,
I talked to some people that were involved in demolishing that, and they don't remember exactly where it was. There was Koshak Construction and Dulaski Brothers. Koshak had a crane, and they're both on the applications to demolish that.
okay, so what we're looking at is that pink area that was turned up. The road would go in roughly there, assuming it meets this 100-foot thing that we got in the
And
conditions.
that does meet the 100
Circle
foot.
around and then go into that yellow greenish area up there.
And that's where the pit. That's
So
where the
that's
pit
what we're
would
looking
begin.
at right now.
Yep, the current
initially.
rec plan with the pit would be up in that.
Yeah, okay. Okay, anything else? Nick?
Nope, those were just the 2 things I was asked to share.
And then the
So-
green is the proposed
Buffers.
100-foot buffer that will be planted.
Down on the bottom there, yeah. Okay.
Trees. And the way we came up with that 100-foot buffer along the road, that would be basically the tree area. We did look at some other pits within the area just to get a visual impact. If you drive down Hills Road, there's 2 pits. There's one pit that you can see, that's the county pit. There's 2 that you can, if you know they're there, you can kind of see them. But the Carnish pit that's currently a gravel pit has approximately 100 feet of trees between, there's the road, the power line, the pit. And that's got roughly 100-foot buffer, and the visual impact's pretty negligible when you drive by the Carnish pit currently.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, committee. Conditions. We have to come to agreement on these today.
So,
So-
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah. Mr. Elrich?
on number 1, it says hours of operation, 6 a.m., 6 p.m. It excludes some recognized holidays. Is this a 7-day or is this a Monday through Friday? Is this a 6-day a week?
That's something the committee can talk about. I was going to bring that one up to ask opinions on that. If the committee wants to amend it to add no Sundays, change Saturday 6 to 2, that's up to the committee at this point.
I realize that there's a small window of opportunity during the year to haul gravel, so you want to put as much in as you can. So from the time that you can haul gravel, a lot of people will work Saturdays and different things like that. This is just opening it up to everything except for those identified holidays.
So what,
And these, we could, if we have a required condition that may need to arise from the solid waste site, that's, theoretically between now and the meeting next Thursday, we could change these slightly. Just keep that in mind. I mean, I don't think we need to iron out an exact list. I'd like to have something a little more concrete for next Thursday, but anyway, back to the hours issue. If the committee wants to say no Sundays, reduced hours Saturdays, that's perfectly fine too. I went by what I see on other pits. I scoured through other counties' applications.
Well,
yes,
I have
Doug,
a question.
go ahead.
Have Janik seen these conditions and
Yeah, we talked about them yesterday with them.
and are there some that they're concerned with? Are there some they have no problem with? Is that, I guess, a question I don't know if I can ask them or not.
You can ask any question you want of any, but yeah.
Are there conditions on here that you guys are acceptable with as a whole?
So it's up to the chair. Do you want them to go up to the mic?
No,
so we
that's
can
okay. I'd like Evan to respond instead of the,
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
David.
They came in yesterday. We reviewed conditions, and I don't think there was anything that they said they absolutely couldn't meet.
so from that perspective, if this were the conditions we put forth on a permit for approval, they would go along with it at this point.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Does that answer?
Yes, that's.
Still doesn't address the hours
No,
question.
I
It does
mean,
not.
do
no.
you want to do something, committee, on the hours?
I guess I would like to limit it to a Monday through Friday. However, I don't know if that's reasonable from a contractor's perspective. Putting myself in the landowner's shoes on Monday through Friday to me would be a little bit more palatable.
I thinking you got to open Saturday also because a lot of people are home on Saturdays and that's when they want their gravel to come. And if they can't get to their pit on Saturdays, then those people are taking off work.
I
I think you got to leave Saturday. That's just my opinion.
You're okay with the hours, 6 to 6? And we're just talking days of operation.
See what that does.
6 to 6 seems fairly reasonable. Again, it's, I guess my question is how is it going, who is going to be monitoring and enforcing? We can put a 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. As a county board, how are we going to monitor this? This is on the honor system?
Well, sure, somebody be getting a phone call. Okay,
I understand that.
yeah, and eventually it goes back to Evan, because if I got a phone call, I would call him.
And same here.
Right, and then Evan can communicate with the contract or contractor as far as that issue.
So the conduit
and
is,
resolve it.
the
Yeah.
conduit for us is if a citizen calls complaining, we take that information, pass it to Evan.
That's what
Evan
I would
is
do, yep.
And that's
That's the way it goes. Yeah, that's the way it generally goes.
So on this issue, so Mr. Elwich is proposing eliminating Sunday from operation. Is that something we want to do?
And the other piece of the puzzle in this discussion is, I'm assuming this is a seasonal usage and this is not going to be used in the wintertime per se.
Correct.
I don't know anything about Operation Gravel Pits.
You don't see many gravel.
I don't
pits being
think they
used
operate in the
no.
wintertime.
No. generally not.
Just on the applications, May through November
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
what's
generally.
listed.
It also says 6
Okay.
a.m. 5 on the application. May, where the extra 6 o'clock comes from.
Do you want me to answer the question?
No, that's not, wait, we're not going there. We heard it.
And that's up to the committee if they want to change. I mean,
Is there a reason why we did the 6?
I went off of what
Other
vast
pits.
majority of other counties, other pits.
Okay, if the application
utilize, and
says 6 to 5, why?
We certainly can put 6 to 5.
Except if we
that's
take
what-
off the Sunday, now that's the whole day we're taking off. So maybe-
And that's fine too. You see Sundays removed quite a bit, and I don't think that's gonna.
So we're doing Monday through Saturday is what's being proposed. I'm going to ask for a motion on this, but I want to get it quantified.
I would
here.
get them all ironed out and then ask for a motion across the board. And
Mm-hmm.
if the committee wants to reduce it to 5, that is perfectly fine. I think that's a palatable condition for the contractor as well.
Is that where the committee's at?
Um,
6 to 5, Monday through Saturday?
I'm all right with the 6.
You're okay
The
with the
6.
6?
I'm all right with the 6 to 6. I mean, I think every day they'll be there at 6.
You want 6 to 5?
You
And
want
Monday
6 to
through
5?
Saturday?
I would prefer Monday through Friday.
She prefers Monday through Friday and 6 to 5, you said, Jennifer?
Yeah.
Michelle?
Monday to Saturday. I'm fine with the 6 PM.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to leave the 6 PM, but we're going to go Monday through Saturday. That's what we'll vote on. Everybody okay where we are? Can always object at the point.
And I do occasionally see Saturday hours reduced as well, like the 6 to 2 type of deal on Saturdays, if the committee so chooses. Like 6 to 6 Monday through Friday and 6 to 2 Saturday, or 8 to 2 Saturday. Some reduced Saturday hours is a common thing to see, but
Well, we got to agree to something here.
what's that?
Let's do a motion on this item so we got this one buried and then we can approve them all at the end again, just so we know what we got. Okay, right now the motion would be Monday through Saturday. And then we're looking at 6 to 6. No, Evan somebody brought up 6 to 5 and now we brought up a Saturday 6 to 2. Where are we at?
6 to 6, Monday through Friday, 6 to 2 on Saturday, no Sundays.
You want to make that motion?
I will make that as a
Is there a
motion.
second to that motion?
second that.
You seconded. Any discussion on that? So all in favor of Monday through Saturday and Saturday is 6 to 2, otherwise it's 6 to 6.
Mhm.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, that's what we got then. Monday through Saturday, Monday through Friday is 6 to 6, Monday through Saturday is 6 to 2. Correct? Okay,
That's what I got.
let's move on. Timeline for crushing, is that an issue? Anybody? 4 weeks, it's limited to 4 weeks, once per year for a period of no longer than 4 weeks.
So the crushing then would follow the same hours of operation?
Correct. And that's part of the reason for the 6 to 6. Generally, they don't haul a whole lot after 5. But when the crusher's in the pit, and, like if Granberg's in crushing, they'd like to crush as quickly as possible to get their crusher onto the next pit. So
Okay, no objection?
yeah,
Condition-
but yes, to answer your question, the timeline would be the same.
Okay.
Approval of the conditional use permit is subject to all applicable DNR administrative rules being adhered to. That should be a no-brainer, right?
That the DNR should supersede us potentially.
Yep.
Mhm.
Off-street parking, that seems to make sense. We won't have any parking on East Solberg Lake Road.
Correct.
That shouldn't be an issue, I
Nope.
don't think.
Gravel within 500 feet of any residence that exists prior to gravel crushing within 500 feet. That's side.
So the crusher would have to be
All
set up
directions.
at least 500 feet. from
Okay, so it's got to be at
house.
least 500 feet away.
Can I ask, what is the closest house and how many feet right now?
Yeah.
It'd be Worsing House would probably be, there is one quite a ways to the northeast too from that. It'd be probably a horse apiece. Those two would probably be
I
location.
I can draw and measure here.
That's right about 1,000, I would get, 800, 900, I suppose. You have to click the draw and measure in the
I
center.
went away, I know.
And you have to click show measurement.
This the new package?
Draw and measure. Show.
It's down a little bit.
Yeah, it's on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this house, I mean, to the lot line, it's 233, but say it's to that pit area, you're looking at 750.
Yeah, I figured in that 800 range.
And this house is over 1,000. This one's over 1,000.
Okay. Are we okay with that? And that can be waived according to the item here by the
Well,
property owner.
and the reason you see that condition on a lot of counties, is if they've got a neighbor or a pit operator, generally if somebody lives on the property and they lease out the pit, they're gonna waive that condition. But they would need to sign something and record it in order for that to be waived.
Okay. Okay, item 6 is an unexcavated vegetative buffer of 50 feet along all property lines, but that's modified by item 7 because we have 100 feet from the edge of the road, right?
So the north property line
Yeah,
would require 100 feet unexcavated vegetative buffer. So like where the proposed pit area is, they couldn't clear that within 50 feet of the property line.
50 feet.
Correct.
But on the roadside, it's
On the road, it's 100.
100. That's what
Correct.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, so they've got to establish that along the road. And actually, for the time being, the road one wouldn't apply because they've got the pit area is going to be back in the woods for the time being. So they've got the
Right.
vegetative buffer there. That's going to be about
Yep.
1,500.
And then they'll have a
buffer.
60-foot wide road going through there
There,
from the road.
they've got a road width. The road's not going to be 60 feet, but the cleared area will be 60 feet. And
yep.
the reason for the width of that is so they don't have to turn out into the other lane when turning into the pit. You can actually have a wide enough road to make a safe turn into the pit.
Okay. And then that road, that 60-foot wide strip is going to be 100 feet from any driveway?
The driveway will be
Could be across the street.
Correct. So if you look at the map, you can see the area that doesn't have an existing driveway across it. And the reason that condition exists, is to try and mitigate the effects of having a driveway right across the road from an existing house.
Okay.
So when they're accelerating and decelerating, it's not right in front of somebody's house.
And obviously you looked at it, but we've got this factored in, so we know that that can happen.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we got the paved issue on that road going in. That's item 14. That seems to be reasonable. Anybody have an issue with that?
I think we're on 11, right?
Well, we've
He
got,
skipped.
We skipped a few, didn't we?
I'm jumping around because I'm on this road.
You're on the driveway?
I'm on number 7, which is has the minimum access, and then we've got it located minimum 100 feet from any
Oh,
driveway.
I see.
That's item 10, and then item 14, we're paving.
Yeah, it's either got to be paved, crushed asphalt, or
So
stone.
those 3 all go together.
One of those, yeah. It's got to be one of those materials, and that's so you don't have
Right.
tracking of mud.
Right.
To minimize the tracking of mud onto the public road.
Okay, and then item 8 is the water table issue. We're no lower than 1480, and that's a 10-foot buffer, you said,
Roughly.
roughly?
Yeah.
Varies.
Yeah,
But a
between
minimum 10 feet?
Between the static water table,
Yep.
what's documented on the DNRs.
Noise levels at 90 decibels. And we picked that, we did a large assembly ordinance here back a few years ago, and that's the number we used. And that was going to be out also on County Road H, just by the fairgrounds. And the DNR has that same thing on lakes as far as noise. It's a 90 decibel. If boat traffic and stuff, if they got boats that are over 90 decibels, that's a problem. And I live on the lake and I know what 90 decibels is. There's still noise, but the further away you get, the less the noise is. So That's why that's in there as a guide, because that's being used in other areas.
And they did submit a noise monitoring results from Haas, this crusher, which the max decibel is 92.2, and that is right at the crusher, which I think that's slightly more than the average vacuum cleaner. And that's right at the crusher. That's what
And we've got 90 at the road.
the road.
So the crusher could be higher, just so that by the time it gets to the road, it's not over
You'd
90.
measure it, yeah, it's measured at the road. You can't measure noise
Right,
decibels right
right.
at the
Yep.
site. That's
Okay. The asphalt plant number 11 is not permitted with this, and that's because they withdrew. So the permit that we have doesn't have an asphalt plant in it. So at a future date, if we want to do an asphalt plant, we're going to have to do something to address that.
yeah.
And that's up in the air right now. We're just talking about,
This is just.
we know
dealing
there's
with-
no asphalt
this is
plant
just-
going in there
There's
right
not an
now.
asphalt plant going in
so it
there.
doesn't
This
have
is
an
the-
asphalt plant in it. Okay, no solid waste, item 12. Clean debris, be cleaned of all debris. And access only through designated areas. Okay, so
Evan, do you want to define solid waste though? We did talk about that.
Garbage,
Yeah.
basically, or if they, for this example, if they, let's say they demolish a house, they can't haul that house that they demolished into the pit.
But like clean concrete, like somebody broke up concrete, that
Or,
is not,
yeah,
that's material.
if you're gonna
not-
bring it, if you're gonna crush, if you've got concrete that they're gonna run through the crusher from somewhere, that's construction material that's gonna be, used as aggregate. That's not solid waste. Solid waste would be garbage or a house or some type of.
okay, so other than really the hours of operation, we haven't changed anything from what's on this list.
I do have a question
Go
as
ahead.
far as on the road. And I don't know if this is us or if this would be the town, it would be Jake breaks. The regulation of no Jake break, would that be the us or is that the town?
Yeah, that'd be the town to put up those signs where you see the no Jake brake sign. We're coming into town. Yeah.
That'd be
No
their
engine
issue,
braking
not
type of
ours.
deal. Yeah.
Mhm.
They would need to put up signs, just like the speed limit signs. They'd probably put up, what I would recommend to Jim is they put up a, 40-mile-an-hour speed limit sign with a no engine braking sign right underneath it would be,
Yeah.
I would guess.
Yeah.
That's what you see coming into most towns.
Yeah.
Okay, back to where we were. The only thing we changed was the hours of operation and the days of operation. Are we okay to proceed with this?
Can I ask some?
Absolutely, everything you want to ask.
Clarifying
Go right
questions?
ahead.
So,
Go right ahead.
Hypothetically, let's say we go through with this and this particular conditional use permit under 11 says no cement plants, no asphalt plants or blasting. What okay, we get the gravel pit gets established, all these conditions are met. Next summer, there's the idea of putting an asphalt plant in. What process does that go through? Is this limiting or proceeding from that happening to infinity and beyond? Or as long as this pit is active, or can a asphalt plant be added 5 years from now with a new conditional use permit?
It certainly require a conditional use permit. Legally, I don't know that we can absolutely say never ever, but that's, if the committee wanted to try and put that condition on there, that is an option to put on there.
Because I
I don't
realize
know if
that
that's 100%.
I'm sure American Asphalt was, had their eyes open last meeting to understand that wasn't a very popular thought of having this asphalt plant. But what's to say that next year, when this is already established, that they want to put an asphalt plant in or a concrete plant? I mean, anything could go in there then.
Yeah, but we'd have to approve that application, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
They
so,
this
so
is
the way
clarifying
it
that.
is now, there's no asphalt,
But what's
concrete or any kind of plant in this permit.
I guess what's the preventing of that application being approved down
It's
the
the
road?
same committee that's meeting here today.
Just trying to
Yeah.
understand procedure, guardrails,
Right.
all of that.
Right. It's got to go through the same process. Yes. And I imagine we'll have,
Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Public hearing and the whole shebang.
Mhm.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, if we're done on that, then I'd like a motion to approve the conditions that we've discussed as amended.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Michelle, is there a second?
I'll second it, but didn't we already approve?
We approved the change to it. Now we're approving the whole page as
Okay.
amended.
I'll second.
So
Okay.
then,
The first and a second? Michelle and Doug, go ahead, question?
question then, so we're approving this, but this doesn't approve the conditional use permit. We're just
Yes.
approving.
We're not approving the conditional use permit, we're
This is
approving
just the
conditions.
Conditions of operation.
And we've got other issues we have to look at before we can approve the permit. A lot
I'm
of it
just-
has to do with
I'm
this
just making sure
DNR
where-
stuff that
where
we
we're
don't
at.
have an answer on.
Sure.
And if there's any other substantial evidence that would come up that could cause us to deny a permit or allow us to deny a permit because we have to follow state statutes and Act 67, that would be between now and our next meeting. At the next meeting, we will decide on whether the conditional use permit is permitted or not.
And during that, you would have another kick at these too, if theoretically,
Theoretically, yes.
you would have another kick at the condition.
The issue is, I would assume we're going to have concurrence when we approve, if we approve the permit from the applicant on conditions, because there's no sense approving a conditional use permit if they don't agree with the conditions,
Agree with it.
right?
They can't, or if they can't meet them, sure.
Yeah, so that's got to happen here too. So when we get to that point of approving, then all the parties are together on going forward with the conditional use permit. Does that answer, Jeff?
That answered my question. Thank you.
Okay, anything else? Okay, I call the question. We have a motion and a second to proceed with the amended conditions on the conditional use permit. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no? Okay. So we're moving ahead with these conditions. All right, item 4 is the reclamation plan. And we have really not discussed it. I assume we're following pretty strict guidelines on this as far as DNR and everything. So Evan, go ahead.
Sure, yeah, rec plans need to follow NR 135 reclamation standards. The applicant would need to have financial assurance in place, generally in the name of a bond payable to the county, should they leave the pit or abandon the pit. Otherwise, the rec plan would have to outlines what the end use of the pit would be. Generally, with this site, it would be just revegetated. Side sloped 3 to 1 or flatter.
So really, there's nothing we need to do today. We can
No.
leave this till next week also.
Yeah, and at this one, the biggest thing is approving that conditional use permit with the conditions that are outlined, the rec plan. You're just reviewing and approving the rec plan
Okay,
as presented.
so we can move on from that then.
Yeah, and
And Okay.
the
go-
solid waste issue from the DNR will be the one thing that you need to,
And if anything else comes up,
yeah, you never know, I guess.
we would just have to see what happens here.
Mhm.
Okay, and then item 5 is, we're not doing it because that application's been withdrawn. So the next meeting date, if there's nothing else, committee? Anything else on what we discussed today? Any questions?
No.
Nothing? Okay. then
Bob.
we- What? Who said Bob?
Me,
Oh, Michelle.
I'm right here.
Okay.
So what kind of precedents are we setting with future gravel pits? Is this just a one-off?
Well,
Or I mean, what are we doing? I mean, we've done this, a few different times with other issues, trying not to set a precedence going forward.
well, I don't know how you can get away from that once you take action on a particular thing, but generally, I would say not all gravel pits are the same. Depends upon where they're located and stuff like that. So there are differences between these conditional use permits.
I mean, gravel's not everywhere, so
Right.
you're already limited to different
Some-
ventures throughout the
Some
county.
gravel pits may not have all these restrictions. And some maybe would have more, I don't know. I mean, we've approved a few that since I've been in this committee, some are just pretty much not an issue.
Generally, that's the case with all conditional use permits and special exceptions. You review them on a case-by-case basis and try and add conditions to try and mitigate the adverse effects. And,
Right.
and it depends on the location. That's why you review them on a case-by-case basis.
Right.
I just want to make sure we're not.
You're saying, does this set precedent for all of the gravel
All of
permits?
them have to follow this.
Right.
I mean, that's what you're asking.
It's a case by case, yeah.
I just want to make sure we're staying to that and not.
Evan, I don't know, I think,
Well, and you'll see we do have, I guess, a prime example will be the meeting here next week. There's an application for a gravel pit. It's just a rec plan because that one's got a conditional use permit on file already from 2001, but it's a new gravel pit down in the town of Prentice. I would guess based on the location of that pit, you won't see a lot of opposition, but it's.
One of the questions I'm hearing too is, are you hearing, what have we done in the past too? Like, so Evan, do you want to talk about like the other gravel pits? They have a time usually put on as a condition. These conditions aren't necessarily unique. Some are unique, but not, the precedent
Most of them
setting.
have hours of
yeah.
operation. We haven't seen a lot of applications for new gravel pits. There was the one on the end of Liberty Road in the town of Worcester, within the past few years. Otherwise, there was the temporary asphalt plant from 2024 that went in the Dragovich pit. That one had not a lot of opposition. There was a little bit of opposition, but not a lot. We put hours of operation and we put an expiration date on that one. That conditional use permit is sunsetted. So, but otherwise, with new gravel pits, we haven't seen a tremendous amount of opposition.
Yeah, and the conditions that were put on are part of the weight you have to look at is, can they be reasonable? Are they a reasonable condition? You can't, the forevers or nevers are very difficult to defend, that you can never do something, or it's putting on a restriction that may not be happy for everyone. So 500 feet, that doesn't restrict it to, if you put 1,200 feet, if you look from every residence, there'd be 0 places to put it. That's restrictive under NR. You can't make it so restrictive because that's where all the.
And I did look at other pits in the area, the 500 feet. I looked at the county pit and compared it to where, for example, there's a house where Teresa Zajkowski lives right. It's right on the corner of Stony Lane and Hills Road. The county pit is approximately 500 feet from that. So is the Carnish pit. It's where the crusher sets up. So I tried to use examples of areas within that. But
answer your question. Okay. All right. Anything else? Okay. The next meeting is on
June 18th.
June 18th, and we always go one meeting ahead because of permitting. So the following one will be on July 23rd. And with that, we are adjourned.